All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute DD. For those that are new, this is where I jump in and I talk about a stock that I've done a couple hours of research on. I give you all the information that I would want to know before I buy it, and I kind of try and keep it to 5 minutes. I never really do, and today is no different. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in this video. So ticker PDI, the PIMCO Dynamic Income Fund. We'll start off by saying this is a dividend yielding stock that pays about a 13% dividend yield, and there's a lot that goes into this stock. There's a decent amount of risk, but I will get into all of that and have that covered. Real quick, if you could like and subscribe if you're interested in this type of content. I put out a couple videos every week and I'm slowly growing this channel. I appreciate you guys for watching. Now let's jump into it. So the PIMCO Dynamic Income Fund, a really good diversification in one fund, but let's talk about the pros. I did pull some of this content from DividendBull's video. He's the one that got me jump started on this stock, and all of the information is pulled directly from their investor relations portion of their website, which we'll look at on here as well. So 13% dividend yield, very impressive. And it's held that percentage for quite a while. This is a portion of their investor relations, kind of just them explaining the stock. The fund normally invests worldwide in a portfolio of debt obligations and other income-producing securities of any type and credit quality with varying maturities and relative derivative instruments. So it's a lot of financial talk. What it's saying is that they are extremely well versed, which I think is really important. It is a little bit riskier depending on, any type of credit quality. Gets me a little bit skeptical with what they're throwing into with this fund. But I do think all in all, a bit of diversification is always good. And they seem extremely, almost overly diverse. First, let's jump into the chart. I want to show you guys. We'll talk about this in the negative section or in the cons section of this as well. This one does have a couple of cons that I don't want people to overlook. Looking at the 5-year mark, they are almost as low as they were post-pandemic. Actually, they did drop below that, which is pretty insane, but they do have kind of a ceiling of this $30 mark, which would be an insane 30% run. So it is I have more of like a 50% run actually. It is a rough chart and they are down all time, but I will talk about that. Now jumping into it, their special dividends. So I'm going to pull up their dividend history. If you ever buy a dividend stock without looking at the dividend history, guys, you really should look at the dividend history. Sorry about this ad. I don't know. It's a glitch and I can't get rid of it no matter what I do. So this is their dividend history and it's really impressive. They pay out monthly dividends, which I love. And they've been really consistently, not necessarily growing their dividend. It's been a couple of years since they grew the dividend, but really consistently paying it out. And they have not cut it in a long time, not in COVID. So that's really impressive and very important when you're looking at a dividend fund, even with the price falling as it has been. So you know that they are at least relatively good with their money to continue to pay out these dividends of this size. So looking at this top dividend, 65 cents, that is not a dividend increase. That is a special dividend that they have paid out of 65 cents, which is really impressive, kind of matching almost 3 months of their typical dividend. So very impressive in my opinion. I wish I had held it before that point, but I don't own the stock. I'm looking into it, but I'll explain into more of that later. Monthly dividends heavily beaten down, which is what we looked at on their stock price. So this is from their investor relations portion of their website, of course, showing their calendar year returns. And so basically what's happening is with inflation, it's really been hurting this fund more and more. A lot to do with loaning, how much it costs to loan. So if it costs more money to loan money out, they're going to be making less money, of course. For those that's a very, very simplified way of explaining how lending works. Definitely, if you're interested in lending type stocks, do more research into that. It's hard for me to get into that and keep this video short. So those are a lot of the pros I have with this stock. I think it's an interesting buy. I'm not going to be looking to buy it for probably another 6 to 8 months. Once I think the Fed hikes are done. So scrolling down, we're going to look at the high, like what I'm talking about right now is the interest rate hikes. The more those hikes go up, the less money that PDI is going to be making. So that doesn't necessarily affect their dividend as we've seen though, which is definitely a positive. But when we look at the price appreciation, that is definitely a negative side of it. So I'm getting spammed with emails right now. So just talking more into that, another negative side is this is an ETN. For those that don't know what an ETN is, it's a bit riskier and harder to pull your money out in worst case scenarios, which is why a lot of people don't like investing in ETNs. They are more complex and they're definitely not for beginner level investors. Do your own research into ETNs and into PDI as a whole. I really do think it's a very interesting fund. And again, really diversified. So mid-risk level, that is simply because of the interest rates and the basically how the price has been falling. It could continue to fall, and it is a little bit scary. If I was holding this, I would just be a little bit nervous with how the market has been going. And lastly, this is not financial advice, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video to the end. I hope you found some of this stuff useful. You can always jump over onto their, this is their website. I'll link it in the description below, and you can see this is their top industry sectors market value percentage. Really extremely diversified, guys. I wasn't joking. Healthcare, banks, wireless, electric, consumer products, aerospace, satellites, tech, gaming. They do it all. So go ahead, play around with this, see what you like if you would be interested in this stock. I'm not pushing it. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm not saying to buy it. Again, not financial advice. It's one that I'm considering for 2023 if we see those interest rates slow or stop altogether. Again, I hope you guys liked this video. If so, drop a thumbs up below. Comment what you want me to do for my next 5-minute DD video. I'm always open to suggestions. And subscribe if you found this helpful. We're almost to 40, or I think we are at 40 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. So again, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a good day.